What it is, what is up, what is good, gamers? This is Shonuff71, aka Digadulamite.
That purple bling bling, y'all.
And your auditory canals are tuned into episode 280 of the Gaming Vessels podcast. And of course, I'm not in the digital studio alone. Along with me, got my partners in crime. First on deck, it's Dez, aka the Bay Area Terror, aka the High Res Lover,
That's me, forever and a day.
aka the Cat Daddy, aka that gamer stepdaddy. What's going on, man?
Hey, not much, just happy, getting ready to love on all these games, these high res games. But other than that, doing pretty good. Had a very relaxing weekend. It felt very good just to chill and bed rejuvenate. So I am
Bed rot.
super. I was not bed rotting. I was bed rejuvenating, and that's what we call it, Joe. It is bed rejuvenating.
Oh,
and I
okay.
felt and I felt great, Joe. I felt just 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 the best I could feel. So yes, I was very happy.
And of course, our show is a no go without Trader Joe, aka Jabroni Chief.
Yeah.
But you might also know him as the Food Max of gaming, who can maximize your gaming dollar. How's it going?
Going good. I was maximizing my gaming dollar earlier. I went to GameStop today, so oh boy, my
They
favorite
still
company.
have
Oh
those.
boy. Yes. But they have a number of trade deals, actually decent trade deals. Oh my God. So they're giving, like, if you have a pro membership, 50% trade boost if you trade towards any Switch 2 games or accessories. So as soon as I saw that, it's like, okay, I got some, excess games I picked up. I don't want to play or wound up buying it on the cheap and decided, hey, I don't want Starship Troopers for PlayStation 5. So
A lot of people didn't want that game.
I bought it, but it's like I didn't even play it. I bought it for, like, I think $18 off of Woot. And after I bought for $18 off of Woot, I got $30 in trading credit for it from GameStop. So it's like I'll take it. So
Yeah, they should have just tried to do a Helldivers 2 crossover with that, because that game, from what I've seen, it's not very good.
yeah, but it's every so often that GameStop maybe decides to, against their nature, of course, do something that might be less in their favor or more in their customers' favor. So it's
Yeah,
like I figure with the launch of the Switch 2, I wanted to pre-order Rune Factory, Guardians of Zuma, and Bravely Default. Unfortunately, they said they weren't taking any pre-orders on Bravely Default for some reason. So, but I wanted
Wonder
to.
why.
Not sure because I know Best Buy also too. They are indicating, like, coming soon on the Bravely Default pre-order. So I'm assuming it might be something possibly with Square Enix in that particular title. So I mean, it's a $40 retail title, so it's like we'll have to see as far as you know. Push comes to shove, especially since it's a game key card anyway. I might just decide to just pick it up digitally, but we'll see. We'll kind of take it from there. But I'm debating also getting the Switch 2 Pro controller, but we'll see on that. So see how much games I could conjure out of it. I still have my Xbox One uh, physical games in my catalog, but every time I look at, do I want to trade a game for 25 cents and get a boost, 50% boost to get 37 cents? Don't know about that. So
You do. I know you, Joe. You do.
no, I don't. So is it worth holding on to a game that I might never play because I might never buy an Xbox One again? We'll have to see. So
I don't know.
yeah, but
no,
you could probably recommend I
party
sell it
at
on
the
eBay
friggin'
or some social area, right, Kev? As far as I know you are more of a noted expert now on the secondhand markets. So
Yeah, I'm doing okay. Probably should talk to my wife. Her store is blowing up, but
Good for her.
I'm doing all right.
good deal. I figured, I think selling Xbox One games, I'll probably get more than 35 cents or 37 cents for a game,
I would think
so
so. I would
Yeah,
I
hope
would think
so.
so. I would hope so, yeah. I did trade in Monster Hunter World today for $2. So
Make
I
it happen.
got a boost and got $3 for it. So, oh
mm,
boy, for
mm,
Xbox One. So
mm.
figure I throw someone out there a bone, maybe Xbox only gamer that is, having the same save a buck because of all the. Well, we'll talk about that news,
Well,
but
they're not going to. GameStop is not going to pass the savings on to them.
oh no, it'll be like a 9.99 or 12.99 game or something like that. So, but other than that, no, I've been good. Everything's all good. Nice spring weather. So love them video games. You. Mhm.
Yep.
Hmm.
I love
Hmm.
them.
All right. Well, that said, that's going to put us to what is always our first topic on the docket. We got a playlist dropping right now. So let's kick things off with Des. What you been playing, bro?
What have I been playing? Okay, so always been playing. Will always continue to play as I love this game. Fantastic! It is the one that I love, and that is Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion. Game's so good. Like I love everything that they've done with the game. All of the advancements, all of the remastering that they've done. The game is a totally different game. It looks fantastic. Just a great game, and I've finally settled on a character that I've been playing, and been leveling that I've been playing, and been leveling her up. So I feel really good about it, and I'm just super excited for the game. So I won't gush too much. If you haven't played it, definitely should check it out. It is definitely worth a price. It's definitely worth the price of admission. Um, and even though I have played it and I've played most of everything in this game, um, it was like this is the game that um just really, I don't want to say it opened my eyes to RPGs, but like the action RPG kind of genre, it really was like one of the ones that really brought me in, and it was funny because at first I thought you could only play it in first person, and that was back when I really did not like first person games, and so I played it all in third person for most of it, and then now I play it in both. I'm fine with playing it in both depending on how I feel on the day. But yeah, I'm super enjoying it, and I think that if you have not played it, you really should play it. And then I have been taking advantage of the PlayStation sale. Seems like everything is on sale, and every now and then another game will go on sale that I'll see a streamer play, which is hilarious. I'll see a streamer play a game, and like a year ago, and it'll be like an early access or something, and then I'll just like, oh, that looks kind of cool, and then like a year later, I'll see it on sale on like PSN. I'm like, oh, I remember that game, and so I'll buy it for like a fraction of the cost, and then I'll play it. So that was two games that I did that with. One was Raven's Watch, and the second was a game called Adore. So Raven's Watch is a game, and it's a roguelite, sort of like Hades in that it's like an isometric view, and you play as um fictional characters. So there's Little Red Riding Hood, there's the Snow Queen, Beowulf, sorry, Grendel, and a couple other people. Sorry, it's Beowulf, sorry. And you have to defeat these like nightmare minions, but how you do it is it's a four-player game. You can play solo or together, and there's unlockables because it's a roguelite. So you're supposed to do runs and get stronger and stronger and stronger. And there's a field that you play on, and then you can go to different areas and unlock different things and get power ups and boost ups. But the cool thing that I like about the game is there are these nightmare champions, I think that's what they're called. And if you defeat them in your run, there's a countdown before there's like a 3 minute countdown or 5 minute countdown. I can't remember how long it is. But within that certain amount of time, you're supposed to go to all these different areas on the map and unlock different unlockables to get like more experience, more progression currency, all this different stuff that you can do. But while you're doing that, you'll stumble across these like I said, these nightmare generals or nightmare minions or whatever, and they're like a mini boss battle. And when you beat them, it reduces the life total of the main boss at the end, which is kind of cool. So you could either just spend all your time going around and getting all of the other trinkets and all the currency or all of the stuff that kind of makes your character stronger, or you can go through and try to kill all of the minions in order to make the final boss weaker. So it's been pretty fun. The really funny thing is that I found, which is really kind of interesting, is there's not a lot of people playing it. So I'm glad that Joe got it. He bought it, so he has an actual physical copy. So hopefully Joe will play it with me, and
I
we
will. I
can.
will.
Oh, cool. And then we can kind of like see how this goes. There's a bunch of characters you can play with a bunch of different play styles that do a bunch of different things, and it's just a lot of fun. And it's kind of crappy because like I was sitting on there trying to wait for people to join, and people would join, and then I would go ahead and start. And there's a countdown before other people can start, and right when the countdown would end, they would jump out and they would restart it or stop it. And I was just like, so that was kind of annoying. So I just play it by myself for most of the time, but it's a fun game. It's a fun game. I cannot wait to play with other people. So if you want to purchase it and play with Joe and I, you definitely can do that. It's on PSN. I think it's like $9, $10, something like that. So it's at a really affordable price. The second game that I got was a game called Adore, and that is a pseudo monster catching game in which you play this adorer is what they're called, and you beat the crap out of sorry you you use the power of this defeated deity god of creatures, and you can um befriend these creatures that you fight, and you call upon them when you're fighting other creatures. So that's basically how it is. And then you form these bond with these up to 4 different monsters that you can call, and they're all mapped to the face buttons like the X, um, triangle, stuff like that. And you can call them out, and they'll battle, and they each have different moves. Some stun, some freeze, some are just raw damage. And while you're avoiding everything, and it is another roguelite kind of thing, and it's fun. It's not super hard. I'm only on the first like area, so I've only met a couple of the beasts, but the beast designs are really cool. It's got this sort of like chunky painted design almost, but it's been fun. I've really enjoyed it. Again, another super cheap game, like $10, and and it was one of those games that I saw. Both of these games were something that I saw some streamer playing, and I was like, "Oh, this is really cool." So it was out on early access on Steam for like a year and a half, and then and now it's out. So it's kind of cool that we have so many games to choose from, and all these people are still out there making these games. So it's exciting. And then the big game that I played, and that was with Joe, is since beating Borderlands, we're trying to find something that will take over, or not take over, but kind of fill that time until Borderlands 4 comes out. And Joe picked Sword Art Online Fractured Daydream. And uh it, it's one of those full on um you know action JRPGs with a squad base where you run around with 4 people, or the computer runs around 4 people, and you do this story. And as you're doing this story, it's about this guy who's trapped in a virtual world, and one of the villains you have to of the prior game. So because it was a anime series, it's a series of games, light novels, you name it, they have it for this Sword Art Online universe. And so this is a side story that specifically takes place in the video game. There's no other source material for it. but it plays off the source material, and it's about all these different online games that are coming together in this new online game, and you're kind of like trapped in there trying to figure out what's going on. And so you, as the story progresses, you meet other friends that or characters from the manga or anime. I think it's an anime first, and the other video games, and you meet them, and then they become playable characters as you meet them in the progression of the story. And then you can either play the story mode or you can play the multiplayer mode. And again, until you have unlocked people during the story, you are kind of locked to whoever you have unlocked. And so there's different roles. It's a squad base. You have like tanks and healers slash support. You have mages. You have range, and they're all characters in this anime that I've never watched. And I tried to to prepare myself for this. I tried to watch some YouTube videos about Sword Art Online, and it gets pretty convoluted there for a minute, but so far so good. It's not bad. Like I'm enjoying it. It is a little floaty, and the combat, while flashy, it's kind of difficult. Like it's kind of a difficult game. But I think that's a great segue to Joe, who is also playing Sword Art Online, and he's the one that wanted me to play it, as he kept saying, "Oh, it's gonna give me that Fantasy Star Online 2 feeling, or the Fantasy Art Online feeling." Oh, so he's all like super, enjoying it and getting all moist. So I'm like, all right, so that's a great way to, kick it over to him. So Joe, please, how was your experience on Sword Art Online Fractured Daydream?
Well, I would refrain from using such verbs as moist when talking
Oh,
about
come
games.
on, dude. You
Get
were
out of here.
dude, it's okay. It's okay to be moist about a game that you're super excited about. It's fine, dude. It's
I am
fine.
not sitting here juicing and.
I never said you were. I just said that you were getting moist because you enjoyed the game. That's all, dude. Yeesh.
Yeesh.
You know?
Now I
Me
wanted
think
to check
stays
this.
me think stays a little too moist.
Ay, 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 ay. Kev, what are you gonna do with him?
Hey, I'm just the host.
He's just listening. He's just listening.
I'm just the host.
So anyway,
I'm the Ed McMahon to y'all's no, not Ed
Johnny,
McMahon. Yeah, I'm the Johnny Cochran to y'all's Ed
did
McMahon.
you say Cochran?
Johnny Cochran.
So
Well, yeah.
anyway,
Sword
Joe.
Art Online Fractured Daydream was a game came out last year. I had my eye on it. You could play. Obviously, it's like a four-player squad-based like action RPG, and so just like Des, I have never watched the anime. I've never read the manga or anything like that. I'm kind of familiar with the idea. It's almost like a harem anime where you got one male protagonist and a bunch of other female
Well, there's a couple
co-stars
dudes,
on
dude.
there.
There's a couple
Yeah,
dudes.
yeah.
Not a lot of
But
dudes, but there's a couple of them.
yeah, it kind of started as like a harem type, you know. But it's just the point that from what I played so far, I just got a beginning taste. You had to basically get the whole tutorial. Since it's a Japanese game, it seemed like there was just a ton of hate to say it, just a lot of text to read as far as tutorial. So the tutorial wasn't exactly the greatest on there, but you got kind of the gist of the combat. I think the difficulty was a little bit harder to begin with. And you had an option to be able to place it on easy, but it's a point that it took me a couple tries to really get because there's a lot of buttons in the game as far as I know I was
Mm-hmm.
utilizing both of my back buttons and trying to figure out what buttons did what.
And a lot of
Yeah,
holds too. Did you notice that? Like if
a
you
lot
hold
of
the button
holds, yeah.
down, it does something. So there's like a lot of combat, like a lot of weight to the combat. And I wasn't expecting that. So
Yeah, and it's reminding me. I was thinking first it reminded me a little bit of the original Fantasy Star Online, but it had more of a reminder to me for Fantasy Star Online 2 New Genesis in
yeah,
specific.
yeah, that's what I was feeling
On
too.
here, the difficulty seems a little bit, harder than that game, but at least, it kind of teaches you to, you know, pay attention and do what you need to do on the combat. there is a way to dodge. There is a way to block, and so obviously, even though both me and Des says that it was difficult initially, it's nothing like a FromSoft game or anything
Oh
like that.
no,
So
definitely not. No, not at all.
yeah, yeah, not at all. So. But we will continue to play it. If you're interested out there, it's one of the games. One thing I want to do with game night from here on out is kind of focus on specific games that we have an idea of what we're playing. That doesn't preclude from you suggesting another game for us to all play together if need be on there, but I would rather go into game night with an approach as far as, okay, we're going to play this game or we're going to play that game or a series of games, especially when we're going to try to make it to where it's affordable to play. Sword Art Online Fractured Daydream right now is on sale on Yelp, which is owned by Amazon on there. And Yelp, I believe it was $15.99 for you, Des, I believe, right?
16 something, if I remember
Yeah,
correctly.
16 with tax, yeah. So
So it wasn't
so
super expensive, so that was good.
yeah, so the game, unfortunately, it was a full retail like 59.99 price, and so a little cheaper now, at least on Yelp on there. And I know GameStop, I believe, has it for I think 39.99 or 29.99 now. So this game has seasons. There is some cosmetics to buy. There's also some additional characters that require an additional funds to be purchased on here. So I'm gonna check the game out. I know me and Des are gonna see if it's gonna be something that we could kind of get a longer tail with and play some multiplayer with on there. If I was gonna right at the beginning, right at the spot, I mean, I could say Grand Blue Fantasy Relink is probably a better game than this. So you could probably say the same, right, Des?
I wouldn't say that. It's just that they're different in the fact that they well, okay, they're better. It's better. Okay, sorry. It's just there's just more shit to do in
Or
uh
our online
yeah. I mean that's the
Fractured
only
Daydream?
difference. That's
Yeah,
the only difference is and the game you have to really like anime. Like it really looks like your classic anime, because it's based on an anime, so needs to look a certain way. Um, but to compare them, saying which one is better, I don't know. They pretty much, for lack of a better term, are kind of the same game. In that you have a squad base, you can run around and you pick from a list of different characters.
yeah.
So I mean that would be the only thing that I would think of that would say like oh this is just like this or this is just like that.
Yeah,
But
it's
other than
it's
that,
been a
it's
while,
pretty
but
good.
this is the first like Dimps game I've played in a while. So Dimps is a noted like Japanese developer that mainly
Never played
does.
it. Never heard of them until this game. So that's why I was like,
No,
oh,
no. I think Kev, you played some Dimps games, right? They've done a lot some Dragon Ball games, I believe. So
Mm,
I know,
maybe years ago, because I'm not really. Yeah, I don't. So
I
so
know,
I go
I know
ahead.
Dimps did Sparkling Zero, and they also did, I believe, that Jump game that everyone played, that the multiplayer fighter as well. So.
Okay, yeah, I did play Sparking Zero, and I didn't particularly care for it. I
Mm.
know everybody went gaga over Sparking Zero. I really wanted to, but yeah, it wasn't my cup of tea. But yeah, so I don't
But
know. So does this game play like Grand Blue? Is it as mechanically sound?
It has a
Has
lot
either
more mechanics.
has
has a
either of
lot
you
more
played Grand
mechanics.
Blue?
Yes,
Okay.
I played Grand Blue, but not enough to where I definitely should go back to Grand Blue Fantasy Relink for sure. So I know John BT would say the same thing.
he would.
So that might be something where I'll take a look and see if that might be a good summer game for me. Summer backlog. I don't know if we're doing that again, but
Maybe
we might want to talk about that.
we still owe Kev. So,
Mm,
Yeah, I know. Double or nothing. Dun dun dun.
oh Lord,
nah,
No.
y'all gonna give me my food.
we
Sizzler
will
or
trust.
yeah,
Trust.
we'll see. We'll see what's up. So whatever restaurant you want to go to, sir.
Okay.
I am not dropping no Malibu chicken sizzler here, sir.
He said
No,
Malibu chicken.
no,
No, he didn't.
no, sir. Mm-mm.
He was serious too, Joe. Or Kev, he was serious. He's like, give him the Malibu chicken. And I'm like, no, I don't want to do that.
Double Malibu chicken. Oh boy. All right. Also, I've been playing some more Golf Story. Really enjoying getting my Switch out and using it for once. So Switch OLED's the screen's quite nice, and so I'm actually debating. I'm thinking I want to play a JRPG next, and I'm thinking of actually because I've attempted two playthroughs and they've all kind of fell by the wayside. But maybe thinking about playing Dragon Quest 11S and playing that on the Switch versus PlayStation because especially with having it portable, I think I might be lend to easier play, and especially if I watch a podcast or listen to a podcast or watch some YouTube and be playing it at the same time. It seems like a good like kind of chill game and be able to
Mm-hmm.
play while you're watching TV or doing some other things. So that might be a thing for me. Plus Golf Story, and plus with anticipation of course Switch 2 coming out, so I will definitely give more attention to the Switch and see what other games I want to play on my backlog. So also been playing surprise surprise more Borderlands 3. So Borderlands 3 right now for me is still cleanup. I'm going in and checking out some spots as far as some iridium spots in each map. Also, some additional side quests and stuff that me and Dez kind of left by the wayside. So, one was a particular boss that just was really just driving me up 10 walls, So, but eventually I beat it last night and got the trophy for it and all. So, it was made egregiously hard, enough so where I turned the mayhem level down and turned it off. I just played it via normal difficulty on there. So, and it had to do with the bugs with the Vespids on there. So, and got that boss, and so I've been enjoying just kind of dabbling here and there with the Borderlands 3 as we've tapped ad nauseum in the last few months. So I'll continue to play it if need be. It's kind of the game I put on and talk to or get into a chat or something, or right before I go to bed kind of thing. So also still playing quite a bit of Monster Hunter Wild. So I'm especially with the event going on right now that I have impetus to really sun on a daily basis and do my dailies. I've gotten into the whole grind about doing dailies on Monster Hunter. I'm up to Hunter rank 85 on there, so I'm definitely to where besides doing the dailies, there's not too much more for me to do in the game. I mean, I'm waiting for the next title update on there, but I've been enjoying using Lance quite a bit. Like I've said before in the past, I've working on right now getting a Lance dedicated like armor set with the particular perks to have a particular like kind of defensive blocking play style with that.
Mm-hmm.
I also tweaked my uh, great sword armor set, and so I regemming and all the minutia that you usually do with a Monster Hunter game. So, and I've been playing with Goonie a little bit. He's been hopping on. I've been doing dailies with him. We just got through doing dailies a little while ago before we started recording. So, I'm still up to playing more Monster Hunter Wild. I'm kind of curious as far as what Capcom's going to do moving forward. I can't wait to see Lagricus, and we'll continue to play the game. So. I know at least from what Goonie was mentioning, the fact that he's looking for a reason to play. He's like kind of ranked like 200, so I mean he's up there. So,
Yeah, I could imagine. Oof.
but if either of you two want to get back into it, definitely let me know, and I will have no problem like getting through some of the high rank quests and storylines, that kind of thing. So I'm still enjoying it quite a bit. So. But
Cool.
other than that, yeah, that's been my past week in gaming. So,
Kev,
Okay,
what's
well,
up?
for
Yeah.
me, it's been Helldivers 2, just like literally one round. That's it. It's
Well, there
one
you
round of Helldivers 2. Um, I was kind of I was using my gas drone and the flamethrower, which the more I use it, the more fun that loadout is. I kind of want to work on improving some of the supporting call downs I've got in the loadout. So we'll see about that. But Helldivers 2 is it. Other than that, it's just been the game of real life. So
Yeah,
with that,
terrible. It's
yeah, I
terrible, but I
know
understand it, buddy.
it's terrible.
I
So that
understand it.
said, we have a main event coming at you, and I'm passing the mic to Dez right now.
All right, everybody. So yeah, we have a question that came to us from John BT. So we're not going to answer the question this episode. So we're going to answer it on our next episode. We wanted to announce to all you listeners out there, for some people who are not on our Discord, um, that way we can also, hopefully you'll join our Discord, you answer the question, or you'll put it into the comment section below. I look at all the comments. I try to see who's saying what, if there's anything to say, but we'd love to hear back from you.
I'm gonna put it
Also,
also up on Blue Sky so everyone
yes,
can react on Blue Sky as well. So
that's true. That's true. So the question is, going back to the various consoles you've owned, what was your single favorite game from each? So I figured we would wait and do that one because it seems like that's going to be quite a juicy topic because if we're going back all the way to when I started, it's going to be like it's going to be a lot. So that's why I think I'm gonna we're gonna wait and we're going to answer this on our next show. So so think about it. Think about the console where you started playing. I know for some folks it was what was it? It was like on cave paintings. Y'all are playing games on cave paintings. Was that no? Okay.
well, I
No,
think yours, I think if I remember correctly, is the Sega Genesis, right?
Uh, yes. The first
Yep.
game system I had was Sega Genesis. It was a Sega Genesis. No, actually, tell you the God's honest truth, it was an Atari. We had my there was a daycare center, and they had an Atari. So I think one of my cousins like donated it or something, and so that was the first. That was the first system I played. The first system I ever owned was a Sega Genesis. So, but that's where I'm gonna start. So please think about your response. Put it in our Discord, and if you're wondering how you can join the Discords, please stay till the end. And Kevin, sure enough, will definitely let you know how to do that. But you know what follows me is the Jabroni Gaming News.
All right, thank you, sir.
You're welcome, sir.
All right, good deal, good deal. So yeah, there's some news that kind of dropped this last week, so let's kind of start it off. First thing, there was kind of some price shock and horror. Microsoft has announced that they have increased the price of the Xbox Series consoles and controllers worldwide. So the Xbox Series X console prices have increased by $100, and certain first-party Xbox games will rise to $79.99 starting this holiday season. So an unnamed Microsoft representative told IGN, because you don't want to put your name to it. We understand that these changes are challenging and they were made with careful consideration given market conditions and the rising costs of development. Looking ahead, we continue to focus on offering more ways to play more games across any screen and ensuring value for Xbox players. So if you're an Xbox player and you haven't gotten your Series consoles, you are now going to be paying. A Series S is going to cost $379.99. A Series S 1 terabyte $429.99. Xbox Series X has gone up to $599.99.
You
A
got the old
Xbox
man.
Series X 2 terabyte system is now $729.99, more than the PlayStation 5 Pro. So, and then controllers like wireless special edition controllers have gone up an additional like $10 to $79.99. on here, and the Xbox Elite Wireless 2 controller is going to get a price increase from $179.99 to $199.99. So pretty much, if you're wanting to sign on to Xbox and you actually want to do it in a console format, you're going to have to pay more to do so. That $729.99 for the 2 terabyte Series X is just I don't know if anyone would be wanting to buy that or not, just because it has a bigger hard drive. The graphical capability between a PS5 Pro and an Xbox Series X is quite a bit different. So I would color me surprised, but given the economy right now, I don't know if tariffs have anything to do with this. I think it might be a more mixture of parts costing more and Microsoft possibly seeing what Nintendo brought on the market and decided that they were going to go ahead and do this. And Sony, even though they haven't increased the price of the PlayStation 5 in the US, they have increased the price of the PlayStation 5 in other territories, including Canada, the UK, Europe, and other countries around the world. So it's just a point that it's a point of inevitability that the price will increase as well for the US. I just don't know if Sony's going to want to let her ride and see what's going on with the tariffs and where they're manufacturing these consoles and kind of go from there. But, it is what it is. Any thoughts, Cap, about all this?
Um, I think this is a little bit more nefarious than that. I mean, off rip, you could say, well, I blame Nintendo because Nintendo was the one that stepped out and said, you're going to pay $80 for our games from now on. And we'll make it sound like you're getting a bonus by putting the games out at $70. Um, I think it's a little bit. I think it's deeper than that because honestly, I can't think of a Microsoft first party game that's that I would even consider paying $80 for. It's like if I'm not going to pay that for Mario Kart, I can't even think that a game that I actually like. I can't think of a Microsoft first party game from Call of Duty on down the line that I would be willing to pay $80 or more for. So I think this is what I think is going on. I think they saw an opportunity to get out of the console business in a very kind of, whoops, I don't know what to say kind of way. And this is what I think that. So we all know that Game Pass is not the omega success that it's got to be because if it was, they wouldn't be putting games on PlayStation. We also know that the cost, the operating costs of this, what was it? Activision was 50 some odd $billion on top of the $15 billion they spent to acquire Bethesda. Folks want their money. And when I say folks, I mean the investors want to see a return on investment, which I don't think they're seeing. And it wouldn't surprise me if behind closed doors they're saying you're going to have to come up. It's time to pay the piper. You guys decide to make this move. We need to start seeing a return on investment. And they're putting Game Pass on LG TVs. I think next week they're going to put it on your toaster. I think
I
what
mean to
they're
laugh,
going
but
to
that's
do.
pretty much true.
I think what they're trying to do is they are trying to say, well, we tried, guys, and nobody's buying our consoles because they've been getting curb stomped from the competition for years now, since pretty more or less since the generation started. And I think instead of going out the Sega way and just saying, okay, we're just done and we're just going to be a publisher, they're saying, okay, we have a console that nobody's buying. What's a way to really get these people ready for us to not have anything afterward? A great way to do that is to just literally price yourself out of the market. And to me, when I see $730 for an Xbox Series X, two terabyte Galaxy, you are purposely pricing yourself out, literally, kind of, sort of out of the market. And they're going to go to their investors and they're going to say, "Hey, well, guys, nobody's buying our consoles, so you know, we have this one other last ditch effort idea, and I think that's going to be their Steam Deck, their Steam Deck slash Steam Box combination that they're going to come out with." And honestly, I think that's going to be all she wrote. I think
Mhm.
this is part of a bigger console exit strategy, because these prices on the face just don't make any sense. I don't care. If it was tariffs, you could say, well, it's because they would say, well, it's because of the tariffs. They're not saying that. They're just saying, well, we're hey guys, we have to raise these prices, and it literally does not make any sense. And I'm sure that PlayStation is going to be raising their prices here at some point. I've heard that in anticipation for the Orange One's tariffs, supposedly they have been before the election, when it looked like it was going to go a certain way. They amped up production and basically got consoles into available that would be, for lack of a better word, tariff proof, because they would be already here. So I've heard that from several different, quote unquote, sources. So if it's true, that was some sharp thinking on their part. But I think this is part of their strategy, just to get out of the console business altogether. And they're going to do it. And this is the part that sucks, by slapping their console fan base dead in the face.
Oh, one thing that PlayStation did do is they opened up a Foxconn facility in Vietnam last year, and it's basically they're manufacturing a lot of consoles out of Vietnam now versus China or whatnot. So, and
Is
according
Vietnam
to,
still in the tariff crosshairs, or was that resolved?
I think it's down to 10% like all the other countries. So,
Okay.
yeah, according to at least article I have right here, that the Foxconn factory in North Vietnam that's manufacturing PlayStations employs around 2,400 people. So it's probably not the only thing they manufacture there as well, but yeah, it's like it's where they have their manufacturing set up. So I'm not entirely sure if I'm assuming Xbox also has some workarounds, but well, for me, I don't know how much all the components cost and if there's an increase in price as far as manufacturing these boxes. So I don't know if it's just simply just greed or just the fact of economic conditions as well. But
Well, I mean, it's
either
across
way,
the board. It's across the
yeah,
board, because GPU prices have skyrocketed.
yeah.
If you're looking at a 5090, what are those going for? They're starting at 3 grand. If you're
Yeah,
looking at something like a 5080 or a 5070, they're somewhere in the 2,500 to almost
that's
$3,000 range.
yeah, that's the second hand market, yeah, for sure. And it's right now because of the whole thing of what happened with the graphics cards as of late. It's like they're not able to manufacture enough at retail price. I mean, that's why Intel did really gangbusters with their low cost GPUs that they brought out for like what 259, 269. So it's like it's just gonna have to be. I'm not sure, what's gonna be the economics of consoles at least moving forward, but we'll have to kind of see how things go. Traditionally consoles usually get discounted, further along in its life cycle. And it seems like now it's just not the case, unfortunately. So, and especially with Game Pass and Xbox games, I mean, I don't anticipate going back to Xbox in any way on the console side. I might enjoy some Microsoft games here and there, as long as they bring them out multi-plat. Would you either of you two be interested in going back to Xbox at any point, as far as going back to actually owning an Xbox console and investing in the platform? I mean, I think that ship has sailed for all three of us, I'm assuming, right?
I never want to say never. I do think that given if they were actually going to make things that felt good and they felt like it wasn't this like super crazy, stuff that's going on right now, I probably would. It's just they give me no they don't give me any consumer what's the word? Like I don't have any consumer confidence,
Yeah.
I guess is what I'd say to that. So I never want to say never, especially for like, Xbox and stuff like that, but no, I don't. I just don't think it's something that I would really want to invest in and just do. Like I just doesn't seem like anything that I would that it doesn't appeal to me. But not at this point.
The listeners definitely let us know how you feel about Xbox now currently. I mean, fortunately on all three of us on the show, I mean, we enjoy Microsoft titles. I mean, Desmond, you're enjoying Oblivion, for God's sake, quite a bit, and I'm looking forward to, I haven't checked Forza Horizon 5 out on PlayStation yet. I was maybe waiting for a sale or whatnot, but I'm really interested to see what they do. More games
Without
to the table.
exclusives, there's no point of a console.
Yeah,
If there's nothing to differentiate it from its competition, what's the point? So if they're going to come out, if they come out with a Steam box in 2026 or 2027, which is what I've been hearing on podcasts, because everybody knows somebody.
yeah,
If they come out with a console, and whether it's, I don't care if, man, this thing's got a 5090 in it and it can run all these games great. It's like you're still, number one, that's going to be one hell of an expensive console. I don't care, regardless of the market conditions. If you're just going to make it a balls to the wall, all inclusive PC box that can outperform a PS5 Pro, it's going to be hella expensive. That's number one. Number two, your games are going everywhere anyway. So what am I getting in return? You could say, well, you're getting Game Pass. Well, okay, but what about the games that aren't on Game Pass? What about those third-party games that are not available through the service? And I'm getting Doom: The Dark Ages. I can get Forza Horizon 5. Horseshoes to donuts. I'll be getting Halo or Gears of War come Summer Games Fest. Come that announcement. So why? What am I getting? What is setting this product up as a benefit to me, who is not currently part of Game Pass right now, who is not swayed by the offer that Game Pass presents? What is that hardware going to do for me when your games are literally coming to the platforms that I already own?
yeah.
It
Yeah.
just doesn't make any sense.
I'd have to. They would have to course correct and have enough exclusivity, or maybe have a hook with their newest platform that innovative enough where I'm just having to have to buy an Xbox, so because when you
I
really
can't.
think about the Xbox Series is just like a continuation of Xbox One, really, when you think about it. It was like it even had the same like OS, so you got to know it's just an extension of that. So if it's like Xbox 360 like, and I mean, Xbox 360 happened like 20 years ago. So it's like,
Mm. Is
I'd
anybody
want,
taking trades for current Xbox consoles right now?
Well, they increased in price. GameStop, notably prior to the price increase, were giving $455 for a Series X. So right now, currently, you could get with Pro membership $412.50. So
Okay,
a
so
little
they're
bit
still
less than the
taking.
455 on there.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Mm.
they priced their trade-in price at 420.69 for April 20th to celebrate the Puff Puff Pass Pass.
It's so
So
silly.
love the marketing geniuses at GameStop. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Mm.
But let us know out there what you feel about the future of Xbox. We'll definitely talk about it in further episodes. Crackdown 4, Crackdown Collection. I want it all. Put it in my
No,
veins.
no,
Put it in my veins.
no,
Call it the crack. Call it the crack collection.
no. Time to go. Let it go, Joe.
Nope. Nope.
The special edition comes shaped like a glass pipe.
Mm-mm. No,
Hmm.
thank you.
Hmm. All right. Other news. Grand Theft Auto 6 has been delayed to May 26, 2026. So it's no longer going to be out in the fall. So the elephant has left the room for now. So Grand Theft Auto 6 will launch for our PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series consoles on May 26th on here. So a statement from Rockstar stated that we're very sorry that this is later than you expected. The interest and excitement surrounding a new GTA has been truly humbling for our entire team. We want to thank you for your support and your patience while we work to finish the game. So yeah, they have pushed the game to 2026. At least we have a release date, so it's a point unless it gets pushed back again on there. But Kev, are you disappointed that it got pushed back? Or I mean, I know you out of the three, you were probably more anticipating this game than probably me and Desmond combined. So
Yeah,
Mm.
but I heard a conspiracy theory that I'm
Uh-oh.
actually kind of in line with. I think the theory is has been put out that they looked at Nintendo when they announced the price of their hardware and their $80 games, and they said, you know what? What if we kick this out one more year? Let's tell the investors we're going to kick this down the road one more year. We're going to do some, we'll tell them we're going to do some polishing. We're going to, get things ready and tweak this and turn this bolt over here. And then once everybody has gotten accustomed to paying $80 for their game, that's going to give PlayStation time to announce their price increases. We'll just go ahead and drop Grand Theft Auto 6 Standard Edition for $100. And maybe we'll do a special edition for 130. And maybe we'll put out a dumbass edition for maybe 225, 250. And when I heard that, that makes a lot of sense. It, because up and all of Take Two's uh calls were always, we are on schedule. We're going to release this year. We're going to release this year. They were telling their stockholders, man, we are full steam ahead for 2025. And then at 0 hour, from a fiscal standpoint, they just say, well, we're going to need more time. I don't think they just came to the conclusion, well, we're going to need more time. I think they're getting ready, they're getting folks ready for that $100 standard edition. And yeah, I will be first in line to pick up that standard edition because I'm a stand for GTA. It is what it is. So just like I don't know why folks are paying $80 for Mario Kart. I'm sure there's a whole bunch of people that don't understand why in the hell are you going to be willing to pay $100 for GTA 6. It's all subjective. I get it, but I think that I can hang my tinfoil hat on that conspiracy hook. That would not surprise me in the least.
I totally understand. It's just the things that make us happy. What we're willing to spend money on. Totally understand.
Yeah. I mean, even at $70, I don't know if I would have played GTA 6. I haven't even played 5, so. And I have enjoyed the GTA series in the past. So I actually was looking to see as far as where GTA 6, 5 was on, as far as if it was on PS Plus or a service or something like that. I think I've gotten it on Epic, I think, previously too. So, I mean, it's a
It's
point
definitely
that
worth playing. GTA 5 was fun game. I
I
don't
know
think it was
GTA
as fun
Online.
as San Andreas, but
I've never
it
played
was
it.
hella fun.
What's the last GTA you've played, Des?
Oh Lord. Um, I think I put the last main one. Again, I didn't play like all of it, so I've played them all to some extent. I just never kept with it, you
Yeah.
know. So it's always been one of those situations where I have access to it. I just never, sat down and said, I'm gonna play this game. I never did that. So
Well, I love the original. I mean, if you remember, and you could probably remember, Des, I love GTA 1 and 2, the original top-down games.
mm,
And I really enjoyed GTA 3 and Vice City. But after Vice City, I have not played a Grand Theft Auto title since then.
mm,
So I've not played San Andreas. I have not played Nico and GTA 4 nor
mm.
GTA 5, and I probably should rectify my GTA 5. It's probably, we could probably do a main event on biggest gaming regrets on here, and I would have a laundry list. So maybe instead of looking for deals, I could go look for a deal in my game room and grab something off my shelf. Is what the biggest deal for me would be, but
Probably.
we'll see. So. All right, next thing I want to talk about, Borderlands 4 had a state of play, and all three of us watched it. So basically, we got to see what Gearbox has in store for the game on here, and kind of color me surprised a little bit. From what I saw of what was in the trailer, there were some elements of Borderlands, the series in the particular gameplay reveal, but it kind of gave me a lot of Destiny 1 and 2 vibes a little bit. So it all is going to happen on one planet, Kairos, on here, and it looks like, they did show off some of the Vault Hunters. They had two in specific
Two.
that they showed as far
Yeah.
as their character classes. It was a siren, and also got what the other character class was.
He was the
Uh,
agent.
the agent, yeah, the
The Malawan. Not
Malawan,
Malawan.
yeah,
No, it wasn't Malawan. It was Telnacor.
Tedador, yeah,
Yeah, it was him, and so he could basically digiconstruct weapons. And he was like your I don't want to say glass cannon, but he was your um
like a
stealthy
ranger type
character.
character, yeah,
Your
ranger
stealthy
type,
character. Mhm.
yeah.
But it looked
So
pretty fun. I was
yeah,
super excited for it. I was like, oh, okay. You know.
yeah,
Yeah,
and they were.
At first when Kev said, oh, it's got that kind of Destiny vibe to it, I was like, I don't know. But then I watched it and I was like, yeah, he's right. I was like, he's right. Like I saw sparrows, I saw all kinds of things, and I was like, all right, he's right.
Yeah, I mean, I saw the instances too, as far as that they have different things going on in the world. You could grab vault keys, and before, the vault was the thing in the Borderlands series, as far as the like end game, where you get to the vault. But it seems like now you're able to open vaults and using vault fragments and go in and do some treasure hunting on there, which
Yeah,
to me it sounds like I would definitely watch it for sure, but between bringing up the vehicles, and you could bring up a vehicle at any moment's notice. There's a lot of gliding too in the game, in the traversal in the game world. So
so that whip thing where you
yeah, the
can
whip,
whip across stuff and gaps and
yeah,
chasms. Yeah, they really kicked up the they really clicked up the traversal mechanics and stuff like that. So it looks fun.
yeah. I'm definitely. I mean, they brought a new boss as far as you're fighting against this particular boss called the Timekeeper. On this particular world, I guess the ending of Borderlands 3, which Lilith wound up, moving a moon into another area of space, and it wound up messing with this planet Kairos. Then from there, and I guess this Kairos was a prison planet that was under a dictatorship, not from an orange hued character or anything like that. So, but this whole thing is about vault hunters rising up against the enemy,
Tyranny.
the tyranny, of course. Yeah, and there's even a robot buddy, kind of like similar to the Ghost in Destiny. It's called your Echo 4 Ghost Buddy. So basically, it's gonna,
Other thing.
yeah. So it's another Destiny-like item in this game or aspect of this game where I'm just like thinking, oh man, okay. That's like you're gonna mix Destiny and Borderlands to some of my favorite franchises. I'm into a sequel. It's like, boy, I might have to take the day off when the game comes out. But Kev, I'm gonna kick it over to you because I know you mentioned on the Discord that you watched it and you liked what you saw. So
Yeah, I tried Borderlands 1. I don't think I bought it. I think I rented it and I didn't care for it. And I saw no reason to try any of the other ones because I thought they all played like the in different variations of the first one. And then I saw this one and I saw the Hunter, the Warlock, and the Titan. They just reskinned them and renamed them. And I'm just kind of, it's kind of cool that, I wasn't expecting Gearbox to be able to count to four or be able to count to three. But apparently they did, and I got no problem with it. So I'll be getting this one because it looks the movement is straight out of Destiny. I don't They can call it whatever they want to. The question is, are they going to be able to nail Bungie's ability uh, in gunplay? And if they can do that, they've got a winner on their hands for sure.
well, one of the strengths of the Borderlands series has always been like the gun manufacturers. You got particular manufacturers of guns
And two more.
that, yeah, and they're adding a couple more in this
Two
game
more.
on here. Yeah, so I think three more actually. So
I thought it was just
because
two, but
yeah,
still awesome.
the new manufacturers are Order, Ripper, and Dalius on here,
Oh yeah,
but
you're
it'll
right.
also be along with Tedador, Malawan, Jacobs, Vladoff, and Torque on here. So, and in the previous games in the series, each particular gun manufacturer had particular attributes for their gun, but now they have introduced a particular thing with Borderlands 4 that a gun is not just one manufacturer, that you could have parts from one manufacturer on a specific gun. You can mix and match. So you're able to basically mix it up. Maybe you want to put a Malawan part on your particular gun, a Tedador part on your barrel, so on and so forth. So it's getting more in the minutia of the weapons themselves. So
Joe loves
even
it.
me and Desmond, when we play Borderlands 3, we have a particular gun preference as far as a particular manufacturer preference on there. Like I know for me, I don't like Jacobs guns at all because of the
They're
fact that
fun.
there's no auto fire, but they do kind of go a little
They go
crazy
boom.
as far, yeah, on there. And then Vladoff always has like crazy ass like magazines and so on and so forth on there. And then the Tedador guns, especially,
They are
they kind of
fantastic.
they basically have projectiles. You could toss them as a grenade on there. Some of the uh, projectiles, you have guns with legs that talk. In previous Borderlands games
And they run
on
away
here.
and
Yeah, so you got that into the mix as well. And they mentioned too that they have like they're tweaking the loot system in the game so that not as many legendaries drop in this particular title. And so
Well,
before,
they don't drop as often, and they actually
yeah,
mean something now, and I think that's
yeah,
a
there's
really great thing.
yeah,
Because I heard that a
and
lot on online when I was watching various different people talk about it, and they were just like, it's just it was like they gave you too much loot,
yeah.
in the last one.
I could definitely. I mean, I got my vault right now in Borderlands 3 where I have 150 items in there. So it's
Yeah,
kind of similar to the vault in Destiny. Haha. So, so
it's a
it's like,
lot.
Well,
yeah,
Destiny, the real characters, the real characters were the weapons,
Yeah,
in my opinion, because they made each weapon feel different. It felt different to shoot. The sound effects were different. The feedback that they gave through the controller, there were variations in each one. And if Gearbox can nail that same feel, particularly when you're talking about mixing different parts from different manufacturers, if they can make your weapon feel like its own character, then that's going to be a winner in my book. Because, like I said, I didn't care for one. I had no intention of playing 2 through 3, and I was going into this presentation not more really caring about this one either. But that gameplay really surprised me, and is the reason it surprised me is because they just borrowed, you might say jocked Destiny gameplay. And
nah, right,
I'm cool with it. I'm cool
you're
with it
right.
because I ain't gonna get a Destiny 3. So so if I can't get a
Oh damn!
Destiny 3, then I'll roll with Borderlands 4.
Wow. I mean, y'all, he ain't wrong. So that's you just kind of be like, oh, okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Keep it pushing.
well, Destiny 2 has another year expansion that they're gonna talk over. I think
Good
in
for
I don't
them.
know.
next
I don't
week.
know.
Yeah.
Ain't,
So,
no, yeah.
Good for them.
Ain't nobody care about that.
Good for them.
and the release date for Borderlands 4 did move up to September 12th. So keep a
They're
lookout
trying to
for
get this
that.
money.
Mhm.
Got it.
They're trying to get this money.
They're going to do a first hands-on event in June on there, which is going to happen at the Keeley Extravaganza Game of Summer Fest Extravaganza, of course, whatever you want to call it.
Mm.
So we'll have to take a look. So, all right, and in other news, kind of craziness, but the website and podcast Giant Bomb has basically blew up. So
Mm.
So the future of Giant Bomb is in doubt. A lot of the staff have left on here. They were recently bought out by this company called Fandom. And if I remember Fandom, I think Fandom also runs like PAX and other things. As far as maybe I'm getting that wrong. Yeah, I did get that wrong. But they own other websites and so on and so forth. But they recently basically gave Giant Bomb a guidelines. They wanted to make sure that they were censoring themselves properly. And so, and if you've ever listened to Giant Bomb, probably the last thing you'd ever want to do. So they had a Giant Bombcast where they went over the standing guidelines that they were given by their owner. And literally, the podcast got taken down after being posted. Jeff Grubb has left Giant Bomb. Dan Reichert, longtime staff member, has left Giant Bomb as well on there. Fandom basically said that they're going under a quote unquote strategic reset and realignment. So
Mm.
I think this is like kind of the Giant Bomb 2.0 because after Jeff Gersman and other staff left the first time when they were having some shuffling of crew, they managed to come up with the current mixture of podcast hosts, and it just seems like they just don't. If you're going to have an investment, guess what? Your investment is not with the website; it's with the people that create the content, and so therefore, you know, you have a disagreement, you're going to throw out these guidelines. It's like you might as well just say, throw my money away. So,
Well,
but who,
I'm thinking that they for they knew the people buying Giant Bomb. They must have known that the clicks must have been considerably down when companies start talking about, we're going in a different direction, we're doing this, we're doing that. If this formula was working, nothing would have changed. The formula wasn't working. Now there you'll find I've heard many a theory as to why the formula is not working. All the way from people claiming that they were Jeff Grubb had stolen articles from people, all the way to, well, because they're all activists and people are pissed off with activists and their gaming journalism. I know I gave up on gaming journalists years ago when I think the straw that broke the camel's back with me was, and it wasn't even Giant Bomb. It was somebody. It was right before God of War 2018 came out, and I can't remember what podcast it was. It might have been IGN. It was uh, a major site, and they were telling. They basically said that if you, and they weren't joking, if you liked Kratos, then you were a masochistic, petulant child, like Kratos from 1, 2, and 3. And to me, I thought that was just like some of the dumbest shit I've ever heard. It's like it's a freaking video game that you're going to make a group, cast this group aspersion just because I like Kratos. So what does the fact that I think Dante is cool, does that also make me a petulant child mentally? It's like I think some of these guys have a hatred for the people that they need to consume their content. And I've heard that hatred come out uh, several times at least, and that was one of them. So you never want anybody to lose their job. That's unfortunate. But I think these people that made this purchase knew that keeping those folks on is probably not. It wasn't the way that it wasn't their plan going forward. And I just think they start coming up with terms of language and all this other stuff just to make it as uncomfortable as possible for them to even want to keep working there. That's just how I feel about it, because I've seen how, just in my own prior jobs, how a company can make things uncomfortable for you just so that you walk in and say, I think going to call it a wrap. I think this is a wrap, without them actually having to fire you. So
yeah, Fandom
that's just
also
how I feel,
owns like
just looking from the
GameSpot.
outside.
They own like Metacritic. They own on quite a number of different websites. They own Focus Entertainment too, which I didn't even realize until I was doing some digging. So it's like they have considerable multimedia holdings, but they just decided for whatever reason they didn't want Giant Bomb to swear and follow these guidelines. And it's like, and God's honest truth, I haven't listened to Giant Bombcast a bit of time, so
Me
yeah, I don't
either.
know if I used to listen to it all the time actually, back way back when. But
Mhm.
are you familiar with Giant Bomb and all, Des, or have you
Yeah,
checked out their stuff
I
before? Or
have,
is it
and I have in the past, but I don't really like stay up to stay up to
date?
yeah, I don't.
You're
Yeah,
not a fervent fan, so.
nah.
Also, another thing too, the website Polygon got basically sold this last week, and so basically everyone lost their job on there. So it got
Oh, it
sold.
was Polygon that said that. Yeah, it was them who said that. It was one of their hosts way back in the day talking said that about. Yeah, it was Polygon. Yeah.
Yeah, so Polygon's also was hit with mass layoffs this week as well. So that website pretty much is done deal, unfortunately. So, and we've kind of talked about Polygon on the show in the past, about that and The Verge as being kind of where I have no reference for Polygon whatsoever. It's they create a lot of like they create controversy out of nothing. So,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
like, I think there was a Polygon article from back when they were talking about the Wii U and Mario Kart, and it was just ridiculous. So, but I haven't gone or read Polygon in years, so I'll pour one out. At least Game Informer came back, so Game Informer's website's back up, and they're going to be launching their magazine in the summer. But everything is all tenuous in games media and games journalism, quote unquote. So, you know, so kind of take it from there. So. All right, and I want to go over some release dates and announcements. PlayStation Plus Essential games for May were announced, so we are getting Ark Survival Ascended, Balatro, and Warhammer 40K Bolt Gun on there. So, I don't know if this Ark Survival Ascended's any good. Kind of the remake of Ark Survival Evolved with
Is that the
Unreal
Vin
Engine
Diesel
5.
one?
It's not. It's Arc 2 is the Vin Diesel one, but this is the
Oh, okay.
game that Vin Diesel loves, a
Okay.
fervent fan of, and whatnot. So yeah, this is the kind of reboot of the original Arc on PS5 and on Unreal Engine 5 on there. But have you ever tried that Arc game, Des?
I have not.
Okay, so I think out of the three games, it's like I'll probably redeem it, but I don't know if I'll ever check it out.
I'll redeem it
I'll
as
probably,
well. I mean, I'll try
yeah,
it. It's a free game.
yeah, yeah. But Balatro, I mean, I think Des, I think out of the three of us, you were like, oh, thank God. Like,
Yeah, I was
I
very
know,
happy I didn't buy it.
yeah. But Warhammer 40K Bolt Gun looks fun, and it's actually was on my wish list, so I'm grateful I didn't pick it up. So, Warhammer 40K Bolt Gun is like a boomer shooter 40K universe, so I'm definitely wanting to check that out. So, any comments on the monthly games for me for PlayStation Plus Essential?
Nope.
All right, good deal. All right, next thing that kind of got announced is that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles title, Splintered Fate, is now coming for PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4 on May 20th, and Xbox Series and Xbox One on June 21st. So there is a physical edition that will follow on August 26th on here. So this is a roguelike action game. So this is the roguelike TMNT game that originally came out for Apple Arcade year and came out also on PC via Steam and Epic Game Store. So kind of curious to see, the whole roguelike element in this game. It's always good to maybe, bring a different game type to it. Have you seen any feedback on this game at all, Des, or have paid attention to it?
I've not really. I mean, I probably will now.
Yeah, because it was just PC and Apple Arcade, but
Yeah.
it looks like the physical edition comes with a pack of foil cards on there as well.
Ooh.
So I know, good times, but we'll have to check that out once it comes out. Goes from there. Also, too, Lost Soul Aside is the release date has been pushed back. So originally it was supposed to come out on May 30th. It's coming out on August 29th now. So I'll have to see. It's like a 3 month delay for Lost Soul Aside. So we'll have to see, if it's going to find its place in that kind of release cycle. I know there's quite a bit of games that are coming out late August, early September. So, Kev, I know, were you disappointed about this, or to the point that you'll play it once it comes out?
Yeah, I'll just play when it comes out. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't get hung up on release dates, changes, and delays and all that other stuff. It's not like there is not between my backlog and the stuff that's already coming, that's already confirmed coming. It's not like I won't have anything to play.
Yeah, we'll have to see though, because I know Elden Ring, Night Rain's going to be out around the same time on there, and Death Stranding 2 is coming out. Well, that's coming out early in the summer, so we'll have to see what happens with the Lost Souls side. I'm pretty sure it's been a long anticipated game for sure. So we'll see.
Yeah, I'll
So
be getting it. I'm for sure going to be getting it. It's just, I don't know. I think sometimes gamers just want to find something to bitch about. Uh, it's like, okay, so it got delayed. Are what exactly are you missing out on? It
yeah,
wasn't canceled. It was just delayed.
this game's been in the works for 10 years, for
For
God's
10
sake. So I
years,
think
one guy that has been dedicated to this for 10 years, some marriages don't last that long. And this guy is
preach,
dedicated
brother,
to
preach.
getting this product out. The dedication that one guy had for this product that he believed in, you know, let him cook. I
Yep,
mean,
let him
obviously,
cook.
it's more than one guy now. He's got the backing of PlayStation behind him, so I'm sure there's more people that work has been farmed out and handed over to other groups of people. But let the man cook.
Indeed. No, what also is cooking? It's Returnal. Returnal has a PS5 Pro patch that just came out. So just want to throw that out there too. It came out on the fourth anniversary of. So there is a Digital Foundry video kind of covering as far as the perks of PS5 Pro patch of Returnal. So I'm definitely gonna fire that up. That's another game on my pile of shame. So.
I've
uh,
played it, but I have not finished that game. Just beat that. When I get to that, I can't get past the boss in the second biome. It goes into a pattern shift that always throws me off. And it's just I just need to get good. But Returnal is a fantastic game. If you guys, I don't know if you guys have ever played it, but it is definitely worth playing.
Yeah, I never played it, so.
Oh yeah, you're that is that game is fantastic. I can't wait for that new one that they've got coming out. What do they call that?
Pyros?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. If it plays anything similar to Returnal, I'm going to be there day one, returning to get beaten to hell and back by
You
that
know, Housemarque is celebrating their
house
30th
mark.
anniversary this year, so I think they're kind of hinting there might be maybe some Super Stardust coming back to PlayStation. That's what, at least what how I'm reading into it. So,
Oh, I'd
but
love for Super Stardust to come back for sure. I
yeah,
love what was that other game that they had where you rolled in a squad of three? It was kind of like a top down.
what Alien Nation, what
Alien Nation, yeah, Alien Nation, yeah. Um, Dead
and then
Nation was that
Dead
they did
Nation,
Dead
yeah,
Nation too, yeah.
yeah, they
So,
did Dead Nation, yeah.
yeah. So, and that other one that launched with the PS4, kind of like plays like Defender.
Oh yeah, yeah. What the,
Yeah,
I'm
I
trying
can't
to think.
remember the name of that game, but gosh, they have a knack for arcade style Twitch games that is unparalleled in the modern age. Unless for those who are making just doing reskins of old arcade games, these guys have taken those core themes and core play mechanics and just been able to expand upon them in a modern way that second to none. They've really carved a nice little niche for themselves in the industry, in my opinion.
Yeah, Resogun is the game you're
Resogun,
thinking.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, that is Jabroni Gaming News for this episode, gentlemen.
All right, game night takes place every Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. That is the date and time we have set aside to play games with our growing Discord community. So if there's a game that you're interested in playing with us or our Discord members, please feel free to post it in our Discord. So you might be asking yourself, well, how do I join the Discord? Well, that's easy. You just head on over to Blue Sky, and we're at GAM. Does Blue Sky have the at just like Twitter did? Is it
Going there
at?
right now,
I
so
think
Okay.
so, but I'm not sure.
Okay,
Okay, I'll read it off right now, but just
Go
search for
ahead.
gaming vessels. But if you look at our profile, it's gamingvessels.bsky.social is our address for Blue Sky. So,
Okay, so you head on
and
over to there. You click the link in the bio, and you're in. We've got no merch to hawk to you, and we have no Patreon tier list to pay for. Just ask that you be a decent person, likes talking about and debating games, and I think you'll find a happy home aboard the good ship Gaming Vessel. Was there anything? Was there something else you were going to add? I didn't mean to jump in on that.
no, go
All
for
right.
it.
All right. So that's going to bring episode 280 to a close. We want to thank y'all for hanging out, cooling out, chilling out, without a doubt. So for Dez, aka the Bay Area Terror, aka the High Res Lover,
That's me.
aka the Cat Daddy, aka that gamer stepdaddy, and for Trader Joe, aka Jabroni Chief.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But you might also know him as the Food Max of Gaming who can maximize your gaming dollar. I am Shonuff71, aka Digadulamite.
That purple bling bling, y'all.
And we'll be back next week, episode 281 for your ears. Peace!